Welcome to a new deep dive. Today, we're turning our attention to a film that's been making some waves. In Flames.
That's right, and we're specifically looking at it through one particular review. It's from Moviescramble, published March 9th, 2024 by Mary Munoz.
Yeah, exactly. So our plan is to really, dig into this review, see what Mary Munoz points out, what makes In Flames stand out.
We want to get a handle on the story, its style, and maybe most importantly, those deeper messages the review seems to hint at. It sounds like it's not just one thing, genre-wise.
Definitely not. The review mentions this blend of genres right away, but also, and this sounds key, some pretty striking social commentary.
Woven right in. Okay, so let's get into it then.
All right. So where does Munoz start? What's the first thing she flags?
Well, interestingly, she starts with the film's background. In Flames, it's actually the first feature film from writer-director Zarrar Kahn.
Oh, a debut. Okay.
Yeah, and apparently quite a successful one. It got attention, celebrated at the 2024 Glasgow Film Festival, which, for a first film, that's pretty significant.
That definitely signals something. And you mentioned the genre thing. The review says it breezes effortlessly through a number of genres. That sounds ambitious.
It does. But Munoz connects that directly to the film's point. She says it offers striking social commentary on gender politics within contemporary Pakistan. So the style isn't just, for show. It serves the substance.
Right. Style serving the message. Makes sense. So what's the actual story setup then?
Okay, so the main character is Mariam. She's a 25-year-old medical student played by an actress named Ramesha Nawal.
And what's her situation? The review paints a picture.
Yeah, sounds tough. Her grandfather has just died suddenly, and she's living with her mom and younger brother. It's a cramped apartment in Karachi.
Okay, so there's grief.
Yeah.
What else?
Financial pressure. Big time. The review notes they're 6 months behind on bills. A really financially precarious existence is how Munoz puts it.
Wow, okay. So grief, cramped living, money worries. That's a lot already.
Exactly. And then things start getting weird. Uncanny is the word the review uses.
How so?
Mariam starts seeing things, hearing things. It begins small, just an odd noise, but it escalates. It becomes this cacophony of sound and imagery, increasingly threatening stuff.
So the review poses the question, right? Is this the grief and the pressure getting to her? Is she sort of spiraling? Or is something genuinely supernatural going on?
Precisely. That ambiguity seems really central. And Munoz spends a good amount of time talking about how the film looks and sounds, how the craft builds that feeling.
Right, the technical side, cinematography, sound design.
Yeah, the DP is Egul Nurbulatova. Munoz really focuses on the use of color and space, and she makes an interesting comparison. She says it resembles the giallo genre.
The stylish Italian horror thrillers known for bold colors.
Exactly. She describes the apartment itself as this rainbow of mixed fabrics and geometric prints. Really vivid.
And how does that contrast with, the outside world?
Good question. The review mentions these lurid neon green street scenes at night, and just the general look of the city being dusty browns and harsh brights. It's a definite contrast.
Even Mariam is clothes.
Yeah, mentioned too. Soft pastels, so she kind of stands out against that harsher city background.
Interesting. And the camera, how does it contribute to the feeling?
Munoz talks about a claustrophobic approach. Often the camera is right behind Mariam or alongside her.
So it puts you right in her shoes.
Exactly. It emphasizes how confined she feels, both in the apartment and maybe in the busy city itself. And crucially, it ramps up that creeping sense of dread.
And the sound does too, presumably.
Oh, yeah. The review describes the sound design using things like piercing whistles, clattering of pipes, and slow sonorous thumping, all contributing to this really unsettling, almost suffocating atmosphere.
It sounds incredibly atmospheric, but as you said, it's not just atmosphere for its own sake.
No, absolutely not. The review is very clear on this. Munoz states that underneath it all, at the film's heart, there's a very serious message about women's status within Pakistani culture.
Okay, so this is where the social commentary really comes into focus.
Right. And Munoz connects it to something broader, actually. She talks about how, across many cultures, many stories, women are often conditioned to smile and say thank you, you know, and how that kind of conditioning can have really disastrous consequences. In this film, she says, you see that on a frightening scale.
Does she give specific examples from the movie?
She does, and they sound quite chilling. Like an uncle makes what seems like a friendly offer, but it quickly turns into a threat of eviction.
Wow.
Or Mariam gives just a friendly smile towards a window, and turns out it's a man. Well, doing something disturbing.
Yeah.
Masturbating.
Oh, God, that's awful.
Yeah. And another instance where genuine compassion shown by someone morphs into an attempted assault, even just sitting next to a male classmate, leads to her getting uh, barked at by some sort of morality police.
It sounds relentless, just constant everyday threats and pressures.
That's the picture the review paints. It sums up the dynamic really powerfully. All of the men in this film are trying to extract something from the women.
Extract something. That's a strong way to put it.
And the review even quotes a line from Mariam in the film, talking to her mother. She just says wearily, "No one gives something for nothing."
That line says so much, doesn't it, about their reality?
It really does. And this idea, this extraction, Munoz says it, quote, quite literally haunts the film.
Ah, so this is where the horror elements really connect to the social message. The haunting isn't just ghosts.
Well, yes and no. Here's where it gets really interesting as the review lays it out. The ghosts, these gray-eyed ghosts that appear, Munoz interprets them as symbols.
Symbols of what?
Symbols of the men that Mariam and her mother have encountered, the ones they've had to deal with, the ones they've turned down, displeased, or fought back against.
So the ghosts are the patriarchy, in a way.
That's pretty much the argument, yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that these ghosts, these figures, keep stalking and threatening their victims, the review sees that as representing how these damaging patterns just keep repeating in society.
Like a cycle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Patterns simply continue to sprout and repeat. There's no rest for these women because the system itself keeps generating these threats. It's relentless.
Munoz calls this interpretation horrific,
Right.
but also familiar.
Yes. Terrifying in its familiarity, especially, she suggests, for female viewers. So the review makes a strong case that the horror here functions as a direct analogy for these patriarchal constrictions, using fear to talk about oppression.
That's a powerful use of genre. It sounds like the performances would have to be incredibly strong to carry that weight.
Absolutely critical. And the review gives them high praise. Ramesha Nawal, who plays Mariam, her performance is called stunning.
Stunning. Okay. In what way?
Munoz says Nawal is adept at every single one of the different genres the film touches on. She has incredible range.
Can you give some examples the review mentioned?
Sure, like she can be the doting sweetheart in a romance montage, but then seamlessly shift to being the scared victim facing down a ghost.
Okay.
Or the wary woman, suspicious of that sleazy uncle. And then, this one really hits home with the theme, the woman who's smiling and saying thank you, because she is simply desperate to get home.
Oh, man. That last one.
Yeah.
It ties right back into that conditioning point.
It really does. Munoz finds Nawal just relatable and so incredibly compelling. She feels her performance is really layered with an awareness of cultural constructs and expectations. It makes Mariam's experience feel entirely authentic.
Sounds like a standout performance. What about the mother?
Her dynamic with Mariam is called extremely well thought out. The actress Bakhtawar Mazhar apparently portrays the mother as someone who seems entirely jaded by a system stacked against her, which is understandable given everything.
But is that all there is to her character? Just weariness?
No, not at all. The review is careful to point out that she also has this formidable instinctive strength, something that gets revealed in 2 or 3 shocking scenes. So there's resilience there too. Resistance.
Okay, so strong performances supporting these heavy themes. What's the final verdict for Munoz? Overall?
Overall, she lands on it being a very impressive feature-length debut for Zarrar Kahn.
Impressive debut. High praise.
Yeah. The sense is that the film has a lot to say and manages to say it effectively. It's described as a very well-crafted and well-acted film.
Any final words from the review, like on the script or direction?
It mentions the excellent performances again and also praises the tight script, saying it makes full use of every line and every glance. No wasted moments, it seems.
So pulling it all together, how does Munoz describe the viewing experience?
Her final description is that In Flames is a disconcerting and compelling watch.
Disconcerting and compelling. That sounds about right, based on everything we've discussed. Okay, so let's recap. Based on this deep dive into Mary Munoz's review on Moviescramble, In Flames sounds like, well, quite something.
Definitely. We're seeing a story rooted in very real stress, financial, familial, but then it spirals into something uncanny, maybe supernatural.
And technically, it sounds really impressive, that visual style, the sound design creating this claustrophobic, dreadful atmosphere that Munoz compares to Giallo.
But the real takeaway from this review, the core of it, seems to be the social commentary, how it uses horror, not just for scares, but as this really potent analogy for patriarchal pressures on women in contemporary Pakistan.
Right, with those gray-eyed ghosts symbolizing the men and the patterns of extraction and threat, and all anchored by what sound like incredibly layered, authentic performances, especially from Ramesha Nawal as Mariam.
Yeah, looking at it through this review really shows you how powerful genre filmmaking can be, doesn't it? It's not just entertainment. It can shine a light on really tough realities, make these big social issues feel personal, visceral.
Absolutely. So thinking about that, what does this all mean, maybe more broadly?
Well, if the review's reading is right, if the film uses ghosts and repeating patterns to talk about these persistent social forces,
Yeah.
these patriarchal constraints, it does make you think, doesn't it?
About what, specifically?
About how these invisible things, maybe not literal ghosts, but the weight of history, culture, ingrained systems, how they continue to haunt us, how they shape the challenges people face right now, not just there, but, everywhere. It's a heavy thought. What stands out to you from all this?